Okay, today we're going to talk about writing expressions. So the first blank is to translate verbal phrases into expressions. Look for words that indicate mathematical operations. So we're going to go ahead and read sentences, or when we're looking at them, we're going to look for these key words to kind of give us clues about what operations are in that expression. So for addition, that could be sum plus total. It could be more than, or even increased by, right? All of those suggest that the operation that we're doing is addition. For subtraction, it could be difference. It could be less than. It could be minus or decreased by. And then for multiplication, it could say times. It could have product or even multiplied by. And last of, right? Like what's 1/2 of 10? Of suggests multiplication. And then for division, it could be quotient. It could be divided by, or divided into. Okay, so those are all kind of like key words and phrases that we're going to look at to know what operation we're being asked to do. So let's talk about the next part. It says order is important when writing blank and blank expressions. That is going to be subtraction and division. Okay, the order when you're adding and multiplying doesn't matter, but when you're doing subtraction and division, it does. So let's look at these word phrases and translate them into expressions. So the first one is 4 less than the quantity 6 times a number n. Okay, so 4 less than. If I said, what's 4 less than 10, right? You know that you're going to be subtracting 4. But what are we subtracting it from? We're subtracting it from the quantity 6 times the number n. So 6 times the number n, and then 4 less than that. Look at letter B. It says 3 times, so 3 times the sum of a number, or the sum of 7 and a number y. So it's not just 3 times a number, it's 3 times the sum of 7 and y. For letter C, it says the difference of 22 and the square of a number m. So what's the difference between 22 and m squared? And then letter D says the quotient when the quantity 10 plus a number x is divided by 2. So 10 plus the number x is being divided by 2. Okay, you could also write it as 10 plus x in parentheses, and that whole thing is being divided by 2. So let's look at a couple of examples. On this next page, it says a piece of ribbon L feet long is cut from a ribbon 8 feet long. Excuse me. Write an expression for the length in feet of the remaining piece. Okay, so we know we have 8 and L. So to figure out the order, we have to think about what we're doing. Are we cutting 8 feet away from L, or L feet away from 8? Right? It's starting out as 8, and then we're subtracting L feet. Look at this next example. It says, you work with 5 other people at an ice cream stand. All the workers put their tips into a jar and share the amount in the jar equally at the end of the day. Write an expression for each person's share in dollars of the tips. Okay, so let's just pick a variable. We'll say X is the total in the jar. Okay, so X, and then are we multiplying it, dividing it? What's happening? Okay, so it says at the end of the day, they're going to split it, right, or share it. So we're dividing it among 6 people. So X divided by 6. And then the last example says, what if each of the workers in the previous example contributes an equal amount to an after-work celebration? Write an expression that represents the total contributed. Okay, so how many people are there? 6. And how much are they each giving? We don't know. Let's just say C, right? 6 times the equal contribution of C is going to give us the total for the party. If everyone gives $10, 6 times 10 is 60. If everyone gives $1,000, 6 times 1,000 is 6,000. Okay, that's it.